Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, hello. Hello, Miss Tony. How are you?
Hi, beautiful. I'm great. How are you?
Can't complain today. I wouldn't dare. It's been a wonderful day.
Good, good, good. Complaining doesn't change it anyway. So
Oh, yes.
you look
We'll give the
pretty.
community some time to come in. Thank you. We'll give them some time to come on in. Hi, Miss Patrice. I see you there.
So this is a live session with your participants.
Yes. So what we do on Monday nights is Monday nights we talk wealth building, right?
Okay.
And just in ways that we can just improve in business and life, right? It's just all of those things that kind of make us better. And learn different strategies, techniques, and all of that. And then on Tuesday night is when we do deal flow. So that's when we bring the investors to the community to potentially invest in. But today is all about education and just how to be the best versions of ourselves in business and just existing.
Is it a interview format?
Can be, but typically, typically we just chat. I mean, we really do. We just
Good.
chat.
Okay.
We keep it very informal around here.
Okay.
We are everyday people, and we
Okay.
act accordingly.
Okay. Very good. I just didn't know if I needed a presentation or we
No,
just a conversation.
we're just conversing. Yeah,
I
unless you
like
wanted to show us something, but other than that, I definitely want to talk about everything that you do, right? Because we do have entrepreneurs in the community and people starting projects. So I want to make sure they can connect with you after the fact and all of those things.
sure, absolutely. Okay, great. Well, I'm excited to be here. How long does it normally last?
Take about 45 minutes.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect.
it's not too long. And Talisha will be joining us. She's running late from another meeting, but she says she'll
Okay.
jump in as she can. So she pops in.
Awesome, awesome, awesome.
Ma'am, hi Kimberly, hi Tracy.
And this is webinar format.
Yes,
So they
ma'am.
they see us, but we don't see them.
We don't see them. If we need to talk to them, we can have unmute their mics if somebody wants to come in and say anything. Typically, they put their questions and comments on Monday nights in the chat,
Okay,
and we just
perfect.
dialogue from there.
Well, I am a go with the flow kind of girl, so I'm all down.
How have you been?
Amazing. I mean, I
Good.
choose amazing. I could complain, but who cares?
And who has energy for that, right?
Right. That just it negates all of the things we should be grateful for. So I have
I
so
agree.
much to be grateful for
100%.
and one thing to complain about. So I'm good.
Absolutely. I agree. Hi, Diana. How's your daughter doing?
My daughter's great.
Mhm.
She's
Is she
really
good?
good.
Good.
We went to um we went to a conference in Vegas last week. So she loves being the travel
Nice.
um support. And so that's real good too. She needed a break from her children. So I'll
Very
tell her
nice.
to
She was
rest.
such a sweetheart when we met her at the conference.
You. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. The community's coming in, but we're going to be respectful of Miss Tony's time. We're going to jump in. We're recording. And so anybody who comes in late, they know how to find us. I want to introduce you all to Miss Toni Harris Taylor, and I'll tell you a story first, right? Before I let her talk about the amazing work that she's doing. So you guys remember, gosh, I think it's been, was it last
October.
October? Last
October.
October. I went to the conference, right? It was the Women Who Love Outdoors conference. I know I talked to you guys about it because I was dreading going, right? I didn't really want to go, but I'd already paid for the suite, right? It was during the time when my mom had just passed away, and I was like, I don't have it in me. But your girl ain't leaving no money on the table, right? So, so I had already paid for it. You put your big girl drawers on and figure this thing out, but you got to go because you already paid your money. And it was the sponsor suite. So it was enough money that I needed to go, right?
Yes.
So, right. And so Miss Toni also had a suite. And her session was, and I also shared with you guys that I went to this conference with the anticipation. Hey, Tishan.
Hello.
I went to the conference with the anticipation of, hyping up 10K project. My goal was to get us some members and, get us some more members and to just tell everybody about it. The conference for me ended up being like so much more than that. So it's always, I just still smile and giggle because God had a whole nother plan, right? For why I ended up at this conference. I don't even know that we got one new member as a result of it. I don't think we did because we gave them a discount code. I don't even know that anybody ever used the code. But when I tell you how fulfilled I was at the end of that weekend, how renewed I felt at the end of that weekend, just the amazing women that I was able to spend a weekend with, and learn from and be fed into by, like, it was just amazing, right? And so Miss Toni was one of the speakers, in addition to being a sweet neighbor. And her session, as we'll talk about this evening, was called, it was show up, be up. Was it follow up and blow up?
Yeah, you got
it. Girl.
got it.
When I tell you that spoke to me in ways that was absolutely unbelievable. One of the things I was always saying about myself was that I was a terrible networker because I'm an introvert, and I know y'all don't believe. Y'all always say you're not. I absolutely am. But I in a room, it's interesting because people normally and naturally gravitate towards me, but then I normally and naturally like kind of cower away, right? Because I don't like crowds. I don't like a whole lot of people. I'm better one-on-one. I don't even like this whole camera thing. Like, even this is kind of like, this is how we talk to the people, so I'll do it, but it's not my thing. I'm really a sit down, let's talk kind of girl, right? One-on-one. And I was saying, I walked around like literally my whole life talking about how terrible I am at networking. And in Miss Toni's talk, one of the things she talked about was that. And after she talked, I felt so much better about my existence, right? Like this thing that I had been negatively speaking into my existence all of this time, she completely changed my narrative about how I speak about myself in regards to my networking ability. And so we had to have her come talk to you guys, right? That was a no-brainer. Anytime we meet amazing people, we bring them right here to you because we know you deserve and need to also meet these same people. And so I want Miss Toni to introduce herself and talk about what she does, but she is the networking queen, y'all, right? It's as simple as that. But and not just having the connections, she understands the science behind networking, right? And so, and she got me out of my shell. Since then, I've been accepting speaking engagements.
Okay.
Yes, honey. Yes, honey. I have gotten kind
Okay.
of out of my little shell. And it's been really, there's still some anxiety. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna front, right? And be like, well, I'm just out there just willing. No, I still break out into a sweat, right? But people have to know about the work that we're doing here. And if nobody else is gonna tell them, I gotta be the one to do it. And
That's right.
we're getting out there and we're spreading the word about how amazing this community is. But a lot of that has to do with the fact that Toni breathed life into this networking ability that I know I do naturally because I'm naturally a people engager, right? I'm an HR person by trade, so I know people, right?
Right.
I know people. I spent 30 years studying people. I know people. And so you gave me the skills that I needed to tell my story and to tell the story of the 10K project under this guise of networking. And so thank you so very much. I don't know that I ever really said that to you. I know we've talked a couple of times since the conference, but I don't know that I ever let you know how much of an impact that you really made on me. And so for that, thank you very, very much.
Well, you're welcome very, very much. And thank you for letting me know that I pushed you to get drastic.
Yes, you did.
So my brand is all about being drastic. And I normally say it like drastic because as entrepreneurs, we have to get out of our own way, get out of our comfort zone. if we're going to change the world, you can't change the world if you're stuck in your own head. So we got to get ourselves out there. Hello, Talisha.
Hello, ma'am. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Nice to see you, beautiful.
Thank you.
So, Tawana, where do you want me to start?
So let's start at the beginning. How did you become the networking queen?
Well, well, the moniker was given to me by my clients. And I resisted it because I'm like, we don't need another queen in the world, queen of this, queen of that. But the truth is, it is who I am. But how did that even start? So, like you said, you're an introvert. I won't go that far, but I definitely starting to believe I'm an ambivert, which is I am a situational extrovert, but I also could just be to myself. But it started in 2005 when I started networking professionally and I wasn't getting results. I'd go to events, lunchtime, breakfast, dinner events. I'd pass out a bunch of business cards like Oprah, you get a card, you get a card, you get a card. Nobody would call me. People would say to me, oh, we're going to get together sometime, and nothing would happen. And after repeating that 3 or 4 times, I was like, there's got to be a better way. Because everybody tells you you need to be networking. They tell you you should be out there networking, but nobody was showing me how to do it. And in 2005, I met a coach who taught networking. And she said, pay $6,000 for my 8-week course and I'll teach you how to network. $6,000, lady? For 8 weeks? What? Write that down. That's about $750 a week. But I was desperate and drastic. So I took money out of my retirement and invested in her coaching. And I promise you, if she had a 1-year renewal every year, I'd renew it because what she taught me, and there was no social media back then. Then when you couple it with all of the technology we have today, it was game changing. And so today I'm a multi-6-figure business owner. I am a 12-time author, which you got my book name title right. Show up, be up, follow up to blow up. I also am a intercontinental speaker. Got a chance to speak in Kenya last year, so I'm no longer international. I'm intercontinental speaker.
Yeah.
And then producer of my own documentary, From Uber to Africa, all through networking. And I'll just throw this tidbit out there too. I am 3-time, been married 3 times, and they all came through networking or referrals or introductions, or the first 2 are deceased. So don't judge me. But they all came through relationship. Somebody introduced me. So it works. And my shirt says, get known, get connected, get paid.
Hey.
And so if nobody knows about you, and I don't care how many degrees and certifications you have, you can be the best at what you do. If nobody knows about you, you ain't gonna make no money. So you got to get yourself out there.
Yeah, very, very good. I can tell you, it definitely makes a difference. And the other thing I learned over these last few months is the more you do it, the better you feel about it too, right?
Like
the last
anything.
event I went to a few weeks ago, I circled the entire, because I started off, I talked to like 2 or 3 people. I'm like, okay, this is all I got in me, 2 or 3 people. And then this last event I went to a few weeks ago, I circled the whole room. Like, I think I met everybody in the room. I was so proud of myself. I was tired at the end of it, but I was so proud of myself.
So, that's a tip there. So, first of all, we have to push ourselves to show up. Especially, I do a lot of virtual networking. That's how I've been able to grow a global business from my chair. And there's a special art to virtual networking. But when you show up, you got to make sure that you make some real connections. And you don't just work the room. For me, I'm like, if I meet 5 good people, I'm good. Because I'm not trying to meet the entire room. And for my introverts who listen, put introvert in the chat if you're an introvert so I can make sure I'm talking to the right people. if you're an introvert who's listening, take the pressure off. Don't try to meet the whole room. Yeah, if you can, go for it. Tawana, high five. But really, it's about making real connections versus numbers. And when you make those real connections, I see you, Kim and Tracy, that those real connections turn into more. Your networking snowballs. So I'm going to take the pressure off for my introverts. Just meet the number of people that you can get on your calendar while you're at the event. We're going to talk about that and then stay focused on those people. Don't worry about everybody else that's out here.
So let's talk about that, because the only way I was able to know who was in the room, right? Who are those people that Miss Toni told me, get on the calendar before you leave the room, right? Don't just take a card and say, we'll do it later. Who are those people that I need to get on my calendar?
That's
I had
right.
to meet them. So I didn't know who was in the room,
That's
right?
right. That's
so
right.
How else would I have gone about doing that rather than talking
You
to
did it the right way.
Okay.
Now, how big was the room? How many people?
It probably was, and the networking was before the event started. So, you know, some people came late. That saved me, I think. So during networking, there was like 30 minutes of networking. There probably were 40 people.
Okay. Okay. So that and perfect. The more people you can connect with, great. But I don't want anybody to feel like they have to try to meet every single person in the room, because now, how do you start the conversation so you can find out who's in the room? I don't know the kind of event. What kind of event was it?
This was an entrepreneurship event. So it was entrepreneurs coming. We were speaking about raising money, raising capital. Okay. And so
that was a special one-off event. But if it had been like an organization that meets on a monthly basis or what have you, you could always ask people, are they a member of the group? And tell them specifically who you're looking for and who do they know that's a part of the group that they can introduce you to. So you can be really specific about who you're trying to connect with so they can then point you in the right direction.
Very good. One of the things they did at the end of the event also, because they did 30 minutes of network in the front end and then 30 on the back end. What they did towards the end of the event is they had an open mic where anybody had 30 seconds to get up and tell the audience anything you wanted them to know about your business or whatever. And so I wish that was at the beginning, because that then did let me know, oh, I need to talk. So at the end, I was more purposeful, right? Because then I wanted to talk to, it was like 3 women who got up and I wanted to know more about what they were doing. And so I did go right to the 3 of them at that second part of the networking. Because
did you get to the mic?
I didn't get to the mic. I didn't get to the mic. Well, you know, it was a first event. I wasn't sure how it all worked out. Now I was a presenter, so they got to know
so you didn't
I was on the panel.
Okay.
So they got to know
your name was said in the room. So
yes. Yeah.
Let me say this about stepping to the mic and allergies. So I'm in Houston, and I'm on the patio because it's a beautiful day. Listen, ladies, it's all ladies here, right? If they give you an opportunity to say your name, who you are, what you do, step to the mic. Always, always, always. Because there's a Tawana in the audience that says, I need to talk to her. I need to talk to her. And that's exactly what happened when those ladies had enough courage and got Drastic to get up and say who they were and what they do. So anytime they ask you to ask a question, give a comment, or step to the mic to introduce yourself, when you ask a question, give a comment, you always introduce yourself up front. So you need a 10-second elevator pitch. Hi, my name's Toni Harris Taylor. I help entrepreneurs get comfortable and drastic with networking so that they can turn their contacts into contracts. My question is,
you just did that so seamlessly. Wow.
I practice. No, I practiced and tweaked it and redid it and practiced.
Wow.
And it'll change depending on who's in the audience. So if I know I'm in the audience of realtors, I'll say, my name's Toni Harris Taylor. I help realtors, right? And so you adjust it according to who's in the audience, but you want to always, 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 always step to the mic, because someone in that audience will be attracted to what you just said. And then they'll run over to you and you say, pull out your calendar, let's get an appointment.
Wonderful. That's great advice. Look, I want you to talk a little bit to the community about some of the things you told. Like I talked about one of the things you said that resonated with me, that there are no one's bad at networking, right? They just haven't been given the right tools to do it. And so if you can talk about that a little bit, what are some of the right tools?
Hey, people are bad at networking. I don't think I said that, because people are very bad at networking. So let me tell you what's bad, and I'll tell you the tools. Number one, show up. So people talk themselves out of showing up. And so even when you're not in the room, that makes you bad at networking because you don't show up. And listen, nothing happens unless you are in the room where things are happening. So you have to show up. Now, here's the tip. Show up in the right rooms. You know your target market. You can't be a generalist. I was talking to somebody today, and I'm in an AI certification. I got certified for AI recently. And she's like, I think I just want to be a generalist. The question is, who makes more money, the general practitioner or the heart surgeon? Right? The one that has the specialty is the one. So you got to have a specialty, and you got to know where your target audience is. So the first thing for good networking is to show up where the right people are, either your target audience or the people who are connected to your target audience. The second thing is be up, right? So introverts, I'm specifically talking to you. Listen, everybody shows up at these events to meet people. So get out of your head. Stop thinking it's about you. It's not about you. Nobody focused on you. So it's not about you. It's about serving other people. And introverts are great and they're great at the one-on-one. So it's about serving other people, learning about who they are and who can you connect them to. So part of the reason you are networking is to meet people that you can introduce to people. So the other bad thing that people do is they go into networking being salesy, sleazy, and slimy. Nobody trying to buy your thing. I didn't come to network to buy your thingamajig. If I need your thingamajig, I'll tell you, but don't sell me. Please don't sell me. Just tell me. Tell me what you do. Tell me a story about what you do. And the key there too, Tawana and Talisha, is we want to get to the other side of who people know. It's really not about that person that's standing in front of you, but who do they know? Right? And so, yeah, so don't be salesy. If you're especially, and I love network marketing. I'm in a few network marketing companies myself, but network marketers are the worst at trying to push their thing, right? Don't push your thing. Don't tell me I need to lose weight. I got a good weight loss program. You just insulted me. I'm not interested. And then last is follow-up. And people hate the follow-up. The fortune is in the follow-up. The lack of fortune is in the lack of follow-up. And the statistics say that most entrepreneurs and salespeople, by the way, you all are in sales. I don't care what you do, you are in sales first. And if you don't get the sales training, nobody will know what you do. So you are in sales, and so you have to follow up. And statistically, 98% don't follow up after the first 2 times. They get personal, we get insulted, and we just like, they'll call me when they're ready. No, they won't, because all of us are busy. How many times have we wanted something, we didn't follow up with the person that sold it because we got busy? And it's not that we didn't want it, we just got busy. So it's not up to it is not up to the customer to chase you to give you money. It's up to you to go after the customer. And so that's when your technology tools come in to help you stay in front of them. Social media comes in.
Very, very, very
Well, I'm
good. So, Alicia,
passionate
you
about
want to add something to it?
I would think I use your networking tools in a different way at this point in time because I'm in the job market.
right.
So networking is really the strongest key because applying that cold applying doesn't work. I don't care what they say. LinkedIn is
It's
easy
not
apply.
work.
That's just an easy garbage bin. So networking has become my focus of my job search. And again, it is that reaching out, taking full advantage of webinars and seminars and things that I can find, but also very much engaging in the chat. I find that I've met like 100 people in the last 2 weeks just by attending, going to it, making myself known in the chat, responding. And again, that's the getting on the calendar. I instantly ask them instead of the sending of the note of just like, hey, I'm like, I tell them where they've met me, what I'm looking for and how I would love to see them and put that Calendly link right on in there so that it doesn't
Exactly.
give them any chance to be like, oh, she see it, they hit yes, they connect with me and then they go to the Calendly link. So I think it's very analogous to all the things we do are really about networking, the way we operate in the sense of, yes, I am selling myself. I am the product here. And it's hard because I'm not even sure, I'm like, oh, it's just me. I wouldn't use the same technique if I were selling something else. And you
Mhm.
have to, again, think about it from that aspect of leading with services. I can connect you to somebody because people want to know people in my network. So that's what I lead with. It's not about me getting a job so much as who do I have? What would you like? What would you like me to talk about? Can I explain something to you? Or who would you like me to introduce you to? Because
Absolutely.
people that I know in your network that I've already peeped out that I want to get to know.
Awesome. I love
Yeah.
that because it's all who you know, and more importantly, who knows you.
Mhm.
Because you
Yeah.
can know a lot of people, but they don't know you because
They
you
don't know.
need
Exactly. Yeah, they need to
strategies.
know me.
That's
Yeah.
exactly right. So to get a job, I tell everybody, network. You looking for a job because you don't know who people know. So
Exactly.
you got to share what you're looking for. And if most networkers, people who show up to events are specifically networking events, are givers. And so, or they at least want to know who you are so that they can help you. That's the posture of most.
Yeah. And the other thing I used to dread was the small talk. I'm a get to the point kind of girl, right? I'm a New Yorker. I don't like a whole lot of fluff. I don't want, everything reminds me of the person who's looking for something. And so they spend, 30 minutes for the setup, right? You think of like the 3-card Monty guy, like it's all about the setup, right? I just want to get to the point. And so what I've had to learn to do is to do more of that what I call the small talk, right? Because I know that people need that and people enjoy that. And it actually benefited me recently and it changed my outlook on it. So now I need to deliberately share more of myself in a conversation. And so I've been looking for a connection to a service, a very specific service. And it's not a service that most people would know about or have a connection about. I recently was introduced to someone who needed my service, right? They need to come to the 10K because they need investors. The gentleman and I had amazing conversation. We talked about 3 or 4 times, and finally something said, ask him, does he know anyone in this area? And so he didn't. He said, you know what? I may know someone else who does. And I took it, and me asking if he knew someone in that area wasn't something we really talked about, right? It didn't have anything to do with
Right.
him being investors. So it was really me just kind of stepping out there because I also have I'm terrible at asking for help and accepting help. Absolutely terrible at it. So I was really stepping out a little bit of my comfort zone when I kind of asked this question. And so he's like, I don't, but I know somebody who does. I actually had a conversation today with the person that he knew, and she
Wow.
had exactly what I need.
Wow.
She is the
Wow.
connection I needed. So it's not
Wow.
even that she knows somebody. She is the
She is
connection
the
I needed.
connection you needed. Wow.
And so like
That's
today,
the power of asking.
Yeah, the power of asking is amazing. Like, again, I think
It's
people do want to
powerful.
help. Yeah, I mean, you have to, it's a skill. I think people think of it as a weakness. Asking for help is the most empowering thing that you can do because people want to help you, but they can't help you if they don't know. And B, it's a compliment. I'm asking you for help. I'm coming to you as a solid resource. I think of you highly in the
Right,
fact that I'm asking you for
right.
something that I think you can deliver upon.
That's right.
Yeah, I
So
mean, I hear that. I receive that. That is not how my thought process has been throughout my life. It's just one of those things.
We've been taught
So
otherwise. That's the point.
you
We've been
you kind
taught.
of been taught that, then there's expectation there, and what do you want for this thing that you now gave me? How much do I owe you? Not in the terms of money, right? But like, now, how many favors do I now owe you? Then there's a trust thing, right? Because in this situation, it's a very specific skill set for a special business that I'm thinking about starting, that I can't talk about with everybody too, right? So there's a confidentiality factor here. And so that was kind of like, do you talk like, but he must have said something to make me feel comfortable, right? He had to say something to make me ask, or I know me, I wouldn't have done it. But yes, it's very powerful. And I think for me, this year of 2024 is really about stepping out of my comfort zone in all ways. Like, it really is. I mean, there's something happened at that conference for me that has challenged me to really show up, not just as the best version of me, but to let go of all of those things about myself that I have not been empowered to believe. And
yeah,
so it really is truly knowing who I am, knowing what I want, and asking for it.
yeah.
And I have been asking for help, even with Talisha. I mean, Talisha's like, "What do you need?" Most of the time, I'm like, "Oh, I'm good." But now I'd be like, "Girl, I need this,
Oh,
this," right?
She always does that. She be like texting me, do this. Can we do this? Can we do this? That? I'm like, girl, you just gave me 5 things and 2 of them are opposites. Like, which one do you want?
but it takes a special skill set to ask strangers for help.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, y'all are sisters. Y'all know each other well.
Yeah.
Uh, But to ask strangers,
Yeah.
but don't ignore the, I call them downloads from above.
Hmm.
You felt an urge. You felt an urge in your spirit to mention it. And don't ignore that, because when that comes for you, there's something on the other side of that.
Hmm.
And I also
Yeah.
think
So
like networking is the exchange of value in many different ways. And I think that's, if
true.
we look at it from a very much like, they're there, you show up just as much as I show up. I'm looking
That's
to
right.
be of service. That's why I'm coming. And I'm like, I'm hoping that I could help somebody in my attempt of getting help. So there is, to me,
Yes.
there's always a reciprocity in networking. I think we do find it to be one way, or we go into it thinking like, oh, I got to do something in order to get something else. Like, we very much think of it as transactional, and it's not. It is relationship building at the core of it, because you don't know, you maybe don't even know what you need of this person at this moment, but you're looking to be like, hey, let's connect and let's see where this relationship goes. Where can I be of service to you later on? Or where can I need you? Maybe you are my plug later on.
Right.
And just see where we go. And I think some of it we're commiserating a lot. Like for me, this job search is a lot of, half of my networks are people who are looking for jobs. So we just spend the time like, isn't this awful? And they go, yes, it's so awful. And we just kind of commiserate about the misery that we're going through. So,
Well,
but
you make
that's
a
how we
good
help each
point,
other.
because, we've all heard about the good old boy network,
Mhm.
right? Good old boy, white men who golf together, fish together, hunt together. And then when the deals come a year from now, they already know who they're going to share the deal with.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
They absolutely already know, because they built the time, spent the time, and built the relationship more in a social way first, golfing, right? Than they did in a business way. But when it's time for the business to come, it's those relationships that get your name mentioned in rooms you're not even in.
Yeah.
So I'm also the host of the Viral Networking Conference, and I own a networking franchise. So I actually bought a franchise around networking. That's how passionate I am about it. But the
Wow.
Viral Networking Conference is all about how you can go viral. And I'm not talking about views on TikTok, or I'm talking about your name being said in rooms that you're not even in. The other day, last week, I was in Phoenix for a conference that was 95% white. 95% white. And I got a text from a girl I met on LinkedIn, and now we're friends. She said, the speaker just said your name. I was like, who was the speaker? And she told me. I was like, I don't really even know her, but because I show up on LinkedIn and she sees me doing my LinkedIn thing, she's like, she said something, quoted me. I was like, okay. So that's what you want for your business and your projects. You want people to be so on fire about who you are and what you do that they are saying your name when you're not even in the room. And that's how you get referrals. That's how you get speaking opportunities. That's how you get clients, get people to attend your events. Because once you have a solid network, they'll help you.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And I definitely, for me and for the 10K project, I see that happening in real life. Like that's happening for us now, right? I'm not making as many calls to get us founders to pitch. You know, they're calling versus me trying to do the outreach. So, and people, and when I always ask, how did you hear about us? And they say where they heard about us from. And it's like, okay, wow. Like it doesn't always, growth doesn't always feel like it's happening, right? But it absolutely is. So that's the other thing I would say is be patient, right? Because things are happening even
In the
when you don't,
background.
in the background when you don't know that they are. And so that's been very interesting to experience also.
I say seeds grow in the dark, not in the sunlight. They grow towards the sunlight.
Yep.
Oh, that was beautiful, T-Shawn. Say that
I'm
again.
always just say that. Like you're never going to see the work. You see the sprout, but like I said, you plant a seed and it only grows in the darkness. It has no other choice. It only sees, the light of day when it comes to fruition. But that's really kind of what we're doing. We're planting those seeds, and we've done it for 4 years. And I do think that harvesting is coming because we're seeing those little buds of people saying, "Hey," or "I know this," and I'm interacting with people who don't know, or they're like, "Oh yeah, have you heard of the 10K?" And now they're telling me about it. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of do know about a little bit.
A little something
So
about that
it's so
organization.
Well, there is
yeah, I just love it. I love when people are, "Oh, you have to really go," and they have this thing on Tuesdays, and I'm like, do they now? Really? Okay, that's awesome.
I need to come to the Tuesday. What time is the Tuesday event?
8 p.m.
Yeah, I'm at
Eastern.
my Bible study is on Tuesday.
Mm.
So that's why. But I will make it my business to try to make it sometime soon.
There's always a replay as well.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
This is
So,
good. Any questions, guys? Hold on, Miss Toni. Do you guys have any questions for Miss Toni? Put them in the chat or the Q&A if you do. Go ahead, dear. What were you gonna say?
I forget because I'm old.
Girl,
Sorry.
I just celebrated a
I
birthday,
forgot.
so
That's
I will
okay.
say I'm old too. So
Yeah.
T-Shawn just had a birthday on Saturday.
yes, she came down to visit me.
And where you remind me where y'all live again?
She lives in Kentucky. I live in Savannah,
Kentucky.
Georgia.
She's Savannah, Georgia.
Okay, all right. She came to visit. So
Yes,
sweet.
she came. Thank you. That's how my bestie rolls. She comes to save the grace of the making
I
the
show up, Miss Toni.
She did. She
see
showed up.
that.
She
I
called me
see
like,
that.
"I'm coming." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Okay, wonderful. Anybody got any questions?
Any questions for Miss Toni?
I have a question
Thank
for you,
you.
Tawana. How many appointments did you get when you went to that event?
Thank you.
4. I got 4. And not only did I get 4, one of them that I had, I was able to pass over to Talisha because the lady does something with tech. And she finds tech professionals jobs. And so I was able to then pass that on to Talisha. So that was the gift that kept giving.
Very
Yeah.
good.
And she gave. She definitely
That's
did.
good. That's the way it's supposed to work. And if she, it's a win-win, right? For you, Tawana, because you help Talisha, you help the lady helps her clients, everybody wins. And I'm just saying, if more entrepreneurs stop being in this, it's all about me.
Mm,
And we really do, we all know the African proverb, it takes a village to raise a child.
right.
Well, it takes a village to raise a business.
Yeah.
It does to
True.
And
sustain it and make it.
I preach into the choir because y'all are creating the village to help raise the businesses. But it takes a village. You can't do this by yourself. So
Yeah.
you want to be a part of organizations and groups where the people are referring each other, helping each other grow with intention.
Yeah. And I love that you brought up, that the businesses are busy, right? And you can't take it personal when someone doesn't get back to you. Because there have been two things that I remember and I felt terrible about. I was when, so the 10K project we had a former business partner. When she left, we kept her email address because we just didn't know what it was tied to and what passwords were going to it, and also who had it and who needed us to still have it. So it
Right.
managed, Cherie's old email and everything. And so there, and as I was going through her email, just trying to clean up and organize things, I found an email that she hadn't opened, she hadn't looked at. I was like, do I just delete it and make sure I make believe I didn't see it? And it was one of those emails where it was like, I wanted to talk to this person because it was something that was really, really cool. But I'm like, we're going to look like an idiot. The email was like a year old almost. And I was just like, this is going to make us look so unorganized if I respond to this email. And so I had to do this kind of, do you respond and take the risk of looking like you just, some backwards organization that doesn't know what you're doing, don't respond to people? Or do you tell the truth, respond because there's something here, right? And so I took that option. I didn't explain the whole story, but I did say, I apologize that I'm just now responding to this email. I know how this could look, but, please bear with me. But I really love what you're doing, blah, blah, blah. I ended up talking to that person. We talk probably once a week now. This happened about 6 months ago. We talk about once a week. There's such a wonderful connection for both she and I
Mm-hmm.
that I love that she gave me the grace, right? And didn't ignore my email because she could have said, I emailed those people a year ago. I've not responded to them. And she could have ignored me. I love that she had grace and gave grace that she was able to see around that. There's another situation where a lady and I have been going back literally for about a year and a half, back and forth. When I tell you it's the worst game of phone tag ever, every time she wants to meet, I'm not available. Every time I'm available, she's not available. We were both available a couple of times, and then something happened the day of the meeting where we couldn't have it. I just emailed her back today and said, we're going to do this on Friday, no matter what. I said, Friday is the day. You give me the time on Friday. I don't care what time it is. We are going to finally talk on Friday. And so I'm excited to chat with this woman because we're staying in this little phone game, phone tag game, because we both understand the value that we can bring to one another if we can finally talk. And so I just say that to say, a year is a lot to wait, but give each other grace because
Absolutely.
entrepreneurs are busy. Many of us are solopreneurs or have very small staffs or just trying to get the systems in place to make them more effective and efficient. So I think just be kind and be patient with people. It doesn't mean they don't know what they're doing. It just means they may have a little bit of time management issue that you may be able to help with that, right? Give them some skills, refer a book to them or something like that, but don't give up on them.
So the lady that introduced me to Network in Action franchise took 3 months to follow up with me. And she was so apologetic. And the truth is, had she followed up earlier, timing would not have worked out because the week before I had declared that I was not opening a networking group. I didn't have all these things. And then the franchise came into my life with all the holes filled in. And that was a week after I had, so timing is everything. And so if you have cards on your desk you have not connected with, dust those cards off. At the very least, go to LinkedIn, go to Facebook, connect with them. and just say hi. I've had your card on my desk for I don't know how long. I don't even remember where we met, but I wanted to make sure we get connected.
That's a great
And
idea.
when they respond, invite them to a Zoom date.
Nice. Miss Kimberly said, how do you get out of your own way?
So, Kimberly, can you tell me what you do? What's your
Kimberly,
business?
you
You
want to
know
come?
what her business is?
Kimberly, do you mind coming about unmute your mic? Put in the chat if you're okay with unmuting your mic.
How do you get out of your own way? That's a great question. And that's a
Mhm.
question
There
that
she
a
goes.
lot of people have. Sure, if I knew how. Ha 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 ha.
We got you.
There we go. I got you right here.
All
Hi,
right, I'm
Kimberly.
here.
How are you?
Fine. How are you?
Doing well, my dear. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And thank you for asking such a wonderful question. So, Miss Toni, how do we all get out of our way?
Miss Kimberly, tell me what you do.
I'm a medical coder. I've been doing it for 8 years. I hate it. I want to get out and do something else, but I don't know how to network.
Okay. So the first thing we need to do is figure out what you're networking for, because otherwise it'll be waste of time if you don't have a business or if you don't know. And listen, let me say this to everybody too. I know you guys are about raising funds and all of that, but you all can look at franchising. I did not know that there was franchises outside of chicken burgers. And so finding a brand that and there's a franchise for everything. So I'm on a weight loss program right now and it's a franchise. So find the thing that really floats your boat. And then when you go networking, you have a purpose. Otherwise, the reason it's not working for you, Kimberly, right now is because you don't really have a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
You work a job right now, right?
Right.
Okay. So that's why it's not working for you. Once you find your purpose and once you know why you're out in the world, then it becomes a little easier. But here's what I'll say to everybody listening. Your business is not about you. Let me say that again.
Mm.
Your business is not about you.
We are not.
It's not about you. It's about the people you're meant to serve. And so if you're having all these thoughts, I'm an introvert, I'm shy, I don't know what I'm doing. First of all, you can hire a coach to get some help. Second of all, you've got to, if you really believe that what you do can change people's lives and help them, I think this is what I said to Tawana that got her moving forward. And if you really believe it, then shame on you for not getting yourself out there.
Yeah.
Shame on you because you've made it about you. And your business isn't for you. Your business is for the people you're meant to serve, the lives you're meant to change, the businesses you're meant to transform. And if you're sitting back thinking about my comfort zone and listen, get out your head, get into your heart, and get yourself out there.
Yeah, that's exactly what you said. So, Kimberly, what is it that you want to do? Do you already know the answer to that question?
Heck no.
I have a solution for you. Something. Do you use ChatGPT?
No.
Okay, because I've built
I have technical
ChatGPT.
skills.
I've actually built GPTs to help people like you. Would you want to transition into a skill? You want to take your transferable skills and see where they fit. It's mostly around tech, but it can help you in the sense that how I've kind of put it together, it gives you that information. So whenever you're ready to kind of explore that, I'll be more than happy to share that with you. And anyone in the community, if you want the links to those GPTs, you can just text me or message me and I'll give it to you.
Yeah,
Tisha,
that's
why don't we do a session? Why don't we do a session where you show that in real time and we work through that in real time for people?
I mean, it's real simple. It's
Let's put you
very,
on the
very
March.
simple.
Let's put you on the March calendar.
March calendar is already filled, so we can't do that.
We can switch. I can give you my March slot.
Nope,
This is
we had to
important.
fix that one in
These,
there.
these
We'll get
girls
it.
right here, they are too much. You can really tell they are best buddies. Well, Kimberly, I hope that helped a little bit. But bottom line is to get out of your own way, even in the process of thinking about starting a business, get some help, ask for help,
Ask for
get some
help.
help, ask
Yeah.
for help.
And if
Because
there's anything you want to see here, Kimberly, too, right? Miss Toni just talked about franchising. So I jotted down, we need to bring a franchising
oh,
specialist.
I got people. Let's talk about
We'll talk about that because we need people. So that's
Yeah.
something I just wrote down. If there's anything you feel like you kind of lean towards, but you wish you knew more about it, let us know. That's what these Monday sessions are for.
Okay.
Also going into the Knowledge Center, that's another place that you can spark something, kind of just browse it to see all the content that we have done, and maybe something will spark like, oh, I'm more interested in that. And we can always do an update to that session or give you more context, like how do I do X, Y, and Z? We can do that for you as well.
Okay.
Very good.
And I do want to encourage everyone, don't leave this planet with you being unhappy, unfulfilled, working the same job, doing the same thing, not moving people. The reason I get up and being an entrepreneur is not easy. It is by far the hardest thing you can volunteer to do.
I agree. It's much easier to be an employee.
It's much easier to be an employee, but it's not as fulfilling.
It is not. It's not fulfilling as.
And so I am happy to get up every day to start my day because I love what I do. And the saddest thing is when people don't love what they do. And so when you don't love what you do, you don't want to talk about it. But when you love what you do, that's the other answer to that question is when you love what you do, you are happy to shout from the rooftops who you are and what you do and how you help people.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Kimberly, you've got a community behind you here. Don't let us go to waste.
Yeah.
Let us know what you need. If you're in the Facebook group, post something that says, hey, I want to know more about this. Does anybody do this? Looking for a mentor in this area because I want to learn more about it. Like let's utilize the 10K project community. We are more than just investments, right? We are educating people on how to get to the next level of success, whatever that means for them. That does not always mean dollars and cents.
Okay.
Very good. Thank you so much for sharing with us.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Miss Tracy, you said, but I do. What was the question that was asked when you said, but I do?
Too. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. We got to find out what y'all meant.
Yeah. What were you guys referring to? Yeah. Angela said the same thing.
Yes, I do. Love it. Your business is not about you.
Oh, okay. Got it. Okay. So I will send you the two. Like I said, one is a career called Career Quest. And it's for you, like I said, looking to how to figure out, because most people always come to me. That's one of those things. People come to me for tech questions. So I can't answer a gazillion of them, but I can put you on the right path. And people particularly ask me how to transition into tech. And that's like asking, I want to be in medicine.
What kind of tech job are you looking for?
I am looking for like technical product management. I'm a product lifecycle management person. I've done everything from business analysis, ideation and validation, QA to post-production support. So I've done it all throughout my 27-year career. So right now I'm looking for any product related job. If you think of anything, but with these GPTs, they're very much for, if you know what your transferable skills are, I align you in a little table that shows you tell me what it is, I tell you where that fits in the tech space. And also the other is just telling you what is available to you. Even if you don't know, I kind of prompt you through that process of kind of identifying what it is so that you don't have to think about it. You can just answer the questions.
So have you ever thought about getting AI certified?
Yes, ma'am.
And then the AI consultant jobs are plentiful.
Yes.
And like 80% of them are men.
Of course.
Right.
Yeah,
so
that's my whole career.
Let's talk about that because
yes, I will.
Yeah, let's talk.
Message you on LinkedIn.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, because you already have probably 60% of the knowledge about AI you already possess and know how to do all the things. I mean, if the certification is the thing that legitimizes it, then you need to get that because you already know the information.
Yep.
Yeah.
See how just saying, talking, just having a conversation triggers things for the people that are listening.
Mhm.
That's how networking works. That's exactly how. So when you are scheduling those one-to-one dates, those dates are just to have a conversation. You start with who are you, what do you do, what do you love about what you do? And then the conversation evolves from there. And you'll be shocked, just like what Tawana said when she asked that gentleman for help, and then he connected her with the just right person.
Yeah. Well, this has been absolutely wonderful, Miss Toni. I said I wanted to respect your time, and I want to do just that. Thank you so, so very much
Do you
for
mind if I put
coming
my
and talking to us.
contact information in
That
the
was going to
chat?
be what I said next, is we not only do I mind, I would be insulted if you didn't. You have got to
All
tell
in
people
there.
how they can connect with you.
Awesome. I got a long dissertation in the chat, but my links are there so you can get my networking guide. Join my Facebook group. It's called the Six Figure Network.com. So that takes you right to the Facebook group. And then if you want to schedule one-to-one with me, just go to meetwithtoniharristaylor.com, click on that link. And that is to get to know me get to know you. And if you need help with your networking and want to know what my programs are, I can help you with that as well.
Very good. Talisha, when you do the replay, can you make sure you put those
Got it
links up
already.
underneath us? Perfect. Thank you.
Mhm.
Very good. All right, Miss Toni, thank you so much for joining us, dear. I really,
Thank
really
you.
appreciate you. It's been a pleasure. And thank you for breathing life into me at that conference because I needed it. So thank you so very much.
You are welcome. And thank you for this opportunity. And I'm going to stay connected to the 10K project.
Yay.
Mhm.
Have a
Bye,
good night,
ladies.
Miss Toni.
I'll
Okay.
continue soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys, I need to give you some updates. We've got some updates to talk about. Tomorrow's pitch, 8 p.m. Eastern time, if you could come. Tomorrow's founder is protecting transportation. That's the little hint for tomorrow's founder, protecting transportation. Also, those of you who are on the mailing list, which hopefully is all of you, would have received an email from us yesterday telling you about the wealth building retreat that we are hosting in Marrakesh, Morocco. For those of you who remember, we had an opportunity, I guess it's been, gosh, time flies so fast, but I feel like it's almost been a year ago. We started talking about investing in a Black-owned retreat or resort called Mwasi. And they have, gone on to buy the property. A big part of their business is the retreat business. They also do some other things there at the resort. I've been asked to host a retreat on their beautiful, beautiful grounds. And so we are going to do that November 4th through the 10th, the dates. And we have sent an email out to all of you with information. We've also been posting in the Facebook group. T-Shine just posted it right there in the chat for you. So please take a look if you're interested. We would love to have you. It is going to be a wonderful time. Obviously, you will get to explore the country of Morocco. There's one night we're even going to spend a night in the desert one night, but the goal is to not only allow you, we're calling it a wellness retreat from the standpoint of wellness is key, right? We can't do all of the work that we're trying to do, whether we're entrepreneurs or we work for someone else. We're just trying to, build wealth, learn new things, all of the things that it takes to exist, right? You have to take care of yourself in addition to trying to be better from a financial standpoint. And so we're really combining the two things in this retreat. So we will be all about the wellness, but then we'll also talk about wealth building and give you actionable strategies that you can take immediately home with you and execute. And so that's one of the things that's important to both Talisha and I is, we've been talking about, kind of what everything looks like. That's been the thing that we agree. If we can't give you something actionable, then you still got to do the action, or you still got to do the work, right? We ain't coming to the house with you and doing the action, but we're giving you the action that you can do that can immediately help you realize a change. And so we hope that you will join us. There are limited spots. It is a very quaint piece of property. They are expanding and building bungalows, but right now they've got 10 rooms. So it's a very quaint, beautiful resort. And so there are limited spots. And we would love to have you guys. I think there may be 6 slots left. And so, we would love to have 6 of you join us. If you're interested, if you have any questions after you look at the link, don't hesitate to shoot me a note and let me know. All right. What else? I had one more announcement. Oh, I know what it is. If for those of you who follow us on social, please follow us on Instagram. We're trying to get that Instagram. We're actually trying to get all of the social channels to the 10K mark, right? Since that's our name. And so we're trying to get all of them there. And so we've been asking people to share us with their network, asking their network to join us across social. We kind of tackled IG first. I think we're a little less than 1,700 away from the 10K on IG, but really just share us with your network. You know what? I'm always asking you guys, this is one of those asking for help things, right? I'm always asking and pleading that we all help the founder that's raising money, but I never really ask for the help that we need at 10K. I got to get better about it. I am going to be better about it. I'm being better about it right now because I'm going to ask for help. So, so please share us across your social platforms, have people, join our pages. It really will help us get awareness out there. It's also going to help the founders, right? As we're, streaming live and sharing the founders' information, the more people that see it, the more people that have the opportunity to invest. There was an article about the Uncle Nearest lady, Fawn Weaver, and I was reading it the other day, and I said, man, if they had opened that up to us, that was only raised, that she only raised big money, VC money on that. And I just kept thinking, I read that article, I think I read that article on like Thursday. All weekend it was on my head is, man, getting ready to be valuated at almost $1 billion. If somebody had opened that up to the little old 10K project, how awesome that would have been. But I think about the businesses that have opened up to us. And just like there's an Uncle Nearest, there could be 10 more of those companies and they could run through here. And so we just got to get the word out so that we can help them be successful, so that they can get the money they need, so that they can realize the improvements and advancements in their businesses, that they one day too can be valuated at almost $1 billion. And when I think about why we are here, it's for that, right? I think about Larry and the Ladder, right? I think about I think about Park Street Homes and what they're trying to do in the community, right? Being able to make affordable, accessible, quality living for everyday people, right? Trying to, make the hood look luxury, right? Just everything that we're here trying to accomplish is accomplished when we can help these founders realize their dreams and one day too be that unicorn company that people really want, people are looking at. And so I sure wish Fawn Weaver would have come to 10K. I wish she would have did a Reg CF. She didn't, but there are a lot of companies that we can benefit from. So we definitely have, a few who have come through to us. We'll get there. You're right, Eddie. I mean, we've had quite a few that have gone on to get money from Serena Ventures, and they get money from other big VCs after they've come to us. So we saw them first, right? We're the early investor. That always is so wonderful when I see that. It's just kind of like, yeah, but it's gonna happen for some of these founders. that have come through us. It absolutely is. Yeah, Caribbean Water Tech is doing amazing things for the people who invested in him early. He's got some amazing contracts that he just notified. For the people who invested in Wiggle, I think I posted something the other day. He's got a new product coming out. So wireless Christmas tree. The lights on the Christmas tree is wireless, using his wireless energy. Like, I was like, what? I mean, so like, we're starting, right? We're 4 years into this, right? So think about all of those companies that came to us. We say that there's like a 5 to 7 year kind of run before you start seeing the progress of some of these companies, right? We're at year 4. We're going to start seeing a lot of success stories from these early companies because they're in that period. We just got an update from the company Audios. I don't know if you remember them, like the speakers that they have going, they're finally, almost ready. And like just there's so many that we've seen in the beginning that are getting ready to enter into their season of success. And we were there
I got an
with
email
them when it
from
started.
Pure Story. They're going into their Series A.
Going into their Series A. I got that same email. If you guys remember, Curious Story was the company that allowed the everyday athlete, right, to monetize their social. Remember, and that was before the laws changed with the NIL.
NIL.
So remember, if you guys remember, the Tiffany, what's her name? Tiffany's her name, I think. She's the CEO of Curious Story. Before, your high school basketball players could share and monetize their name, right? She came to 10K and talked about her idea. She's got this amazing platform where they can share their stories, they can stream, they can get follows, all of those things in order to help them monetize. Then the NIL law changed, right? And so now her company has blown up as a result of that, blown up. So to Talicia's point, we got an email this week. She's doing a Series A, which means now she's raising money a second time. She's looking to raise more money, right, this time around. I loved her story because in her update, she got $5 million is how much she had raised. And she was saying how she made $5 million last for almost 5 years. And she was so, as an investor, that made me so happy because she's a responsible founder, right? I read a story a couple of months ago. It was not a Black owned company, but it was another company, a Caucasian owned company. They had run through like $23 million in like a 2-year period of time. And now they were asking for more money. And I remember being like, I was pissed. I'm just gonna say, I don't know a better word to say it. I was pissed because I thought if a Black founder could just get 1 million, they could make that last and build a successful business. These jokers got $23 million and blew it in 2 years. I was so upset when I read that story, but it was nice when I then got Tiffany's email to see that she made her money last. And so now they're looking to raise again. They are a profitable business. They're making money. And so I don't think she's going to have any problem raising the additional capital that she needs to take it to the next level. But we have winners in our portfolio. We really do. When you think about the 10K project portfolio, I think we're at 150. I think we're approaching
120 founders. That's what we have. 120 founders to come in. But you're not talking about the campaigns.
I'm not talking. Correct. Yeah, I'm talking about just in total. We've had, and we're higher than that. We got to talk about the count. We're higher than that. We're higher than that when we talk about raises, when we talk about weeks that we've helped campaigns raise. When you think about the impact that we've made, we've got a lot of great people in our 10K project portfolio. So even if you've invested in a portion of those companies, right? Because I know none of us have invested in all of them. I don't think. I said I know, but I don't know that because I don't know what you invested in.
Maybe.
I don't know. I know I have not invested in every single one of them, although I've come close. In my house is like, Tawana, you do know you can't give them all their money back, right? Like you can't invest in every single one of them that paid to come pitch.
She's just like, okay, just reserve a spot and just get, like, she's doing it in kind. We're not doing in kind ever.
This is not in kind. This is right. But they're many of them are just like, you'd be crazy if you could not to invest. It just, yeah. But anyway, I digress. But anyway, those are the updates I wanted to give you guys. None of this could happen without you guys. And so thank you so very, very much to our members, all of you who show up all the time, for us here at the 10K Project, for the founders, for yourselves, right? I just know that your lives are going to be better for it. And I hope you already see some of that. I know we've asked people, you know, for the reviews and for the testimonies, and asked if anything that we've done here has helped. I just really, even if you're not open to sharing it, I truly pray that something we've talked about here for the last 4 years has helped you become a little better, either in your mindset or in your wallet, right? I pray that if we have not done that, then we need to talk. We need to talk, because we think we're doing that. So if we're not, we got to chat a little bit so you can tell us where we're going wrong, or what else you need from us to give you that extra little push that you need, right? I'll tell you the same thing I said to Kimberly. If there's something you don't see here that you want to see, let us know. If you need help, let us know, right? We may be able to lead you a little closer to the direction you're trying to go. If you need that network connection, let us know. We're meeting a lot of people. You know, I gave a referral to somebody the other day that needed something. And the lady was like, how much do I owe you? I was like, you don't owe me anything. I just connected you to somebody. She was like, you probably should charge for this, because people charge for this. I was like, I'm not going to charge. I know that people do, but I'm not going to do that. And she was so grateful. But that's what we're here for, right? We're here to help you excel. We love having you here, but the whole point is to make your life better with something that we're talking about. And so, you know, please, please, please reach out if you need a little more hand-holding from us. We've got time. We've got time to do it. And when I say time, I don't mean like real time. I mean, we make time.
This is the epitome of the networking community. We have built one for you. You should take full advantage of it. Now you're comfortable, you are ready to do your thing. So you should be able to come with the ask. And if we can't help you, you know, directly, we will indirectly find the person who can do that for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Many of whom are right here with us,
I
probably.
would say our expert directory is one of the least, I would say it's the most underrated thing. You can go in there and find, I look through there all the time, just in general, just because I want to see if there's a person connected to this, or I'm using it even in my job search right now. So I always say, just go to the Knowledge Center. All of those things in there are really for you. Truly, truly take a look at it. And sometimes not even with the intent to find something, but just to familiarize yourself, because then you can always, again, connect it like, oh, I know I saw something in there that I need to refer back to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Very good. Any questions for us?
Yeah, good.
No questions? All right. Well, guys, thank you
email,
so very much.
you. I already got the email, so I'll be sending those right out to you as soon as
Good.
we're done with this.
Good, good, good. Diana, we think you're awesome too. Thank you so much. All right, guys. Peace and blessings. I'll see you all hopefully tomorrow for the pitch. If not, we'll see you when we can again. I know you guys will make time when you can. I just mess with y'all because I like to see y'all live. But I know you will make time for us when you absolutely can. But have a wonderful evening. Be kind to yourself and know that we appreciate and we love you. Good night.
Good night, everyone. Good night, ma'am.
Bye, dear.